Spartan 117, aka Master Chief, is undoubtedly one of the most iconic characters in video game history. He is also only one of many Spartans to exist in the Halo universe. The Spartans are super soldiers enhanced to be the strongest fighting force humanity has ever seen, taking on the hardest of missions, becoming natural leaders, and saving humanity time and time again. But how did they come to be? What is their purpose? We're here to break this down as fast as we can in this bite-sized lore. The process of creating the Spartans we know and love today has quite a history. It dates back almost a couple hundred years prior, beginning with Project Orion. Launched in the year 2321 by the Office of Naval Intelligence, ONI for short, Orion's goal was to bioengineer super soldiers to create an enhanced fighting force. The soldiers were all volunteers from the United Nations Space Command, UNSC for short. Initially shutting down due to poor results, Orion was reactivated in secret in 2491 to combat growing insurrectionist rebel attacks within Earth's colonies, and this time around, Orion operatives proved to be significantly more valuable. Comprising up to 300 soldiers, they took part in many successful operations, quelling rebellions across the colonies, with one of these soldiers being the one and only knows what the ladies like icon, Sergeant Major Avery Johnson. Despite their combat prowess and improvements made to their enhancements, however, results still fell short of the desired super soldier. Furthermore, operatives began to exhibit physical and mental health issues, altogether leading in the deactivation of Project Orion in 2506. All that said, Project Orion left a legacy of potential for soldier enhancement, potential that would finally be tapped in the next program. A few years after Project Orion's shutdown, insurrectionists across Earth's colonies became more prevalent than ever. As a response, the Spartan 2 program was launched by Dr. Catherine Halsey, a familiar name within the games. Unlike Project Orion's super soldiers who were volunteers, Spartan 2 candidates were all children kidnapped from their homes. These children would undergo brutal training and physical and mental enhancements, with quite a few unfortunately not surviving the process. This led to much controversy towards Dr. Halsey's practices, but nonetheless, these were overlooked as the Spartan 2s produced results like never before. Spartan 2s were the most powerful soldiers humanity had ever created, and they were put to work. While they did squash insurrectionists as planned, the Spartans would then become galactic heroes, being quintessential defenders of humanity, when the theocratic alien hegemony known as the Covenant declared a genocidal war against the human race. Spartans accomplished tasks no matter the odds, even sacrificing their lives for the greater good. They're not only highly effective, disciplined, lethal soldiers, they're a symbol of hope. A symbol for humanity's resilience. It's no exaggeration that the Spartans played a massive role in saving the human race, constantly slowing the Covenant offensive. Spartan 2 specifically even maintain an incredible synergy together, working phenomenally in teams, likely due to them growing up and training together for their whole lives. The Spartan 2 program also produced some of the greatest soldiers in history, including Noble Team's George 052, best known from Halo Reach, and of course the greatest Spartan of them all, John 117, the Master Chief. Following the Spartan 2 program, the Spartan 3 program launched shortly after. Spartan 3 was created in an act of desperation as the war against the Covenant continued to devastate humanity, and humanity needed its super soldiers. As a result, the training was even harsher, and the stakes were higher than ever. To provide them with a natural boost to morale, these children were not abducted from their families like in the Spartan 2 program, but were rather orphans who lost their families over the course of the war. The process from training to deployment was fast, and just like the Spartans before them, they became quintessential in turning the tide of the war. Unfortunately, however, many of these Spartans would go on to die, taking on constant suicidal mission after the other. One of these missions proved especially devastating, the Fall of Reach. Here, the Spartan noble team slowly and tragically suffered loss after loss. June A266 was the sole survivor, with Catherine B320, Carter A259, Emil A239, Spartan B312, and even Spartan 2 George 052, all killed in action. Despite these heavy losses, the Spartan 2's and 3's sacrifices were not in vain. Humanity would go on to defeat the Covenant in 2552, and the Spartans became legends. Afterwards, some Spartans took less daunting roles in the unified Earth government, such as security, while others, such as Master Chief, fought against a new threat, the returning race known as the Forerunners. By this point, beyond the Spartan 2's and Spartan 3's continued efforts, the fourth and final program launched in 2553, appropriately titled the Spartan 4 program. The Spartan 4 program was a sort of return to form to the super soldier roots of Project Orion. Fun fact, Noble Team sole survivor June A266 became one of the heads of the Spartan 4 program. As the urgency of the Covenant attacks finally came to an end, the candidates were again all adult volunteers, and the process from soldier to Spartan, while still very challenging, was not nearly as lethal as that of 2 and 3. A dedicated branch was also created for Spartan Force to serve under, Spartan Operations. This was created as a response to the end of the Human Covenant War, where Spartan 4s eliminated remnants of the Covenant, and would later on join the Spartan 2s and 3s to combat the Forerunners, especially on planets Requiem and Genesis. Notable Spartan 4s include Jameson Locke and fan favorite Edward Buck. The legacy of the Spartans continues to live on in the Halo universe. The Spartans fought tooth and nail, bolstering hope across the galaxy, saving humanity from extinction. While their exploits cannot be understated, many across all programs, including Master Chief, are still fighting to this day. The relentless faction, the Banished, continue to wreak havoc across the galaxy, and the long-dormant species, the Endless, may become another threat for the Spartans, and also another chance for Spartans to become legends. And that's the condensed story of the Spartans from Halo. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm Bilal with Game Rant, and we'll see you in the next one.